Cosmic shopping, baby.
To purchase t-shirts and merchandise with my art on it, just click on the eye on the top right hand side of the screen and it will take you right to my shop. Living in the ridge. A lot of drugs. Here I am, just getting ready for a warm-up here. I'm just going to do some chest back and a little bit of shoulders, maybe some biceps, to see how this goes. Just so you know, I'm wearing a Friends in the Forest t-shirt there. That's one of the t-shirts in my Spreadshirt shop. The link is down below, and it's also in the top right-hand side of the screen. If you click on the eye, there will be a link, and then you can go right to the shop if you want to check out some of the art that I have on some t-shirts and stuff. And you know, the reason why I make my own shirts and I do art, and it's kind of not really bodybuilder-ish. It's not like, oh, you know, look at my pythons, you know, that kind of thing. Is because there's so many people out there doing that sort of thing. And you know, really my channel, it's all about you being you and training your way and finding what is the truest you. You know, that's really what this is about in the physical body. You know, how do you express yourself to the physical body? What is it that is right for you? And what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, you know, here's a shirt where I express myself, you know, the innocent childlike nature that's emerged from me from this whole meditation path, and, you know, taking a lot of stomps from life, you know, sometimes through the gym, sometimes through injuries from hockey. But the fact is, in the end, you know, you just start to become more innocent in some way. You know, you start to actually just express yourself and just learn to live your life and have fun, but you don't come up with an idealism and you're not trying to convert the world to your way of thinking. You're just being yourself, right? So I'd like to encourage everybody that watches my channel to also do the same. You know, there's some pretty magical things that come from you when you be yourself, and I'm sure that every one of you has a lot of stuff that you want to share with the world, your community, or people around you, whether it's advice in some specific type of craft or whether it's a way you see things that helps heal the world. And that's really what this is all about. So the thing is, what I'm doing today is I've also got my music in the background. So it's kind of funny. You know, I'm not, you know, a hip-hop artist by any means or anything, but I really enjoy making music. So you'll notice in the background I've got a certain beat going, and I'm talking about the community I live in. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, live in the town that I live in, probably about 70 or 80,000, I'm thinking, around there. You can look it up on Google, but it's around 70 or 80,000 or so, I think. And the fact is that we have a lot of families in our community, a lot of good people, you know, working 9 to 5 or owning businesses and this and that. But per capita, we have an amazing amount of drug addicts. So, you know, I made a hip hop song about it and about, you know, some of the other work I do as a spiritual healer. And, you know, so I talk about, you know, sometimes why people do what they do. And in the song, it's just about people accepting what's going on inside them as well as in their bodies, you know. So anyway, you know, that aside, if you want to check that hip-hop song out, have it on a separate channel there. It's if you click on the eye on the top right-hand side of the screen, there'll be a link to that as well. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm not turning into Tupac anytime soon, but you never know. Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows what'll come out? So that's a great thing about creativity. You never know what's going to come out. It's kind of like having children. You know, sometimes you get the girls, sometimes you get the boys, sometimes you get twins. You know, you never know what's going to happen, right? So it's kind of what's going on with my creative process right now. So, you know, I know a lot of you that watch this channel are pretty deep, so that's why I kind of share this stuff with you. You know, most of the people that watch my channel aren't just about getting big biceps, but they're like, hey, you know, biceps are part of life, but it's not the entire picture. So that's why I'm sharing this stuff with you. So as you can see today, you know, I've did some bench presses and I'm doing some incline presses right now. And the fact is that my shoulder's still feeling okay, but not great yet. It's still, like I said, still adjusting. So that's, my strength has not come back, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to go with the flow here and just work through it in lighter ranges of motion and just, you know, work with the body. And sometimes I've been taking an extra day off or two here and there, and I haven't been pushing my body and saying, okay, I'm forcing you to get, you know, as big and strong and lean right now, because obviously the body's fighting the process a little bit. So I'm just working with it, and it's like a relationship, you know, on a day-to-day basis. It tells me what I should do, and if it's not really feeling it, then sometimes I'll miss the gym, or I'll just do a light workout or something, or maybe concentrate on legs or something instead. So, you know, I'm encouraging you to do this as well with your workouts, because I get people asking me, how should I work out? What way should I train? You know, what is the greatest workout routine? And I think it's good to start with a structure. There's no doubt about that. You need to start with a structure and say, okay, this is what I'm going to stick to. But in time, you will notice that your structure will evolve. Things will change. So anyway, today I want to talk to you a little bit about my lat pull downs here. Now, on purpose, I'm touching my chest and I'm coming all the way down because, you know, some people misunderstand when I don't come all the way down. They're like, oh, Jason, you're not doing it right. But you may notice that in order for me to come all the way down and touch my chest, I have to really arch my back. My back is really arching. So I'm working different muscles on the back by doing this. It doesn't mean I'm not getting a back workout, but there are different muscles between the shoulder blades and things that I am getting a workout with. But when I usually do lat pull downs, you'll notice that I don't come all the way down and I stay a little bit more straight up and down. That's because I'm trying to hit a different part of the back. And I find that my lats actually die instead of, you know, sometimes the subtle muscles in between my shoulder blades or in my rib area or whatever. So again, there's no right way to train it. It's just a matter, where do you feel the most benefit in your back workout? What do you want to get out of your back workout? Are you looking to actually really strengthen up those muscles in between the shoulder blades, or are you looking at you know, getting a wider V taper, you know, more of a wide lat spread? So the fact is that I switched up all the time. There's no right way. I always change it up because working many different, right now I'm doing more the normal form that I do. So this is where I basically just fatigue the lats, and the lats seem to stop working after I come down lower than that, and other muscles in my body at least take over. I mean, this might be different for you, so you have to really kind of experiment. So the back is really a feel type muscle. So anyway, you know, this is kind of how you train. You know, you change it up, you change it around, and you really experiment and have fun. It's really a fun thing. It's kind of like it's kind of like dancing to music, I guess, you know, now that I got hip hop in the background, you know, it's kind of like dancing to music. Sometimes it's fun to do different moves, you know, you don't always have to do things the same way. Dancing the same way can get kind of boring, and it looks more contrived. It's not necessarily being in the moment and really kind of being with the body and what it's showing you in that moment, right? So I went from chest and back, and then I went over to some lateral raises. And, you know, I would lift my arm up higher, but this is because that's my dislocating shoulder, the right side. So this is about as high as my arm goes in a lateral raise type of situation. Okay, so this is a labral problem. So I know for a fact that I would be coming up higher, and I used to lift the weight higher, but now this is what feels natural. So I'm working with that. And yeah, I just been basically going through lighter lateral raises. I'm not doing heavy lateral raises these days. I find that it's hard on my left shoulder to do heavy lateral raises, although I can do it. But I'm, again, just pumping blood into the area, really getting a pump, getting the muscles going. And, you know, weight training, a lot of it is rehabilitation as well as strength training. You know, some people think they can go in the gym and just constantly make gains, you know, but a lot of it has to do with how much injuries do you have to deal with? How much can you avoid injury or work around things that might be coming up? Because, you know, the whole purpose of training is to hit your limitation. And when you're hitting limitation, what happens is sometimes you go too far into that limitation and then something snaps, or something says, hey, you know, you went too far, you know, time to rest. So here I am doing a bicep curl. Now you can't really see, but the grip is a little narrower, and I'm on purpose bringing the weight up more towards my chin. Okay, so I'm not keeping the elbows back as much. So I'm working a different part of the bicep. This is what felt like I wanted to work today. I really felt that this was what I wanted to get a squeeze on. Okay, so again, on the bottom range of motion, that's where I'm weak because of the bicep injury that I had years ago. But you know, I always keep the arms bent at the bottom anyway. I always did. I always kept them slightly bent because I found that kept the tension on the bicep, and I could maintain more of a pump and more of a burn in the bicep muscle by doing so. So this is not a cheating thing. It's not like I'm saying, hey, look, I got 20 reps instead of your 15. Look how much of a better human being I am. No, it's not that. It's more about, this is the way I keep my tension on that bicep. You know, and by keeping the tension on the bicep and hitting full fatigue, what happens is I get better results, you know, a better burn. Now, I've done two angles for you here, so you can see my left bicep and my right bicep are different. My left bicep is the one that I injured. But, you know, the fact is that this is what it looks like, right? I don't care if I'm swinging a little bit. I'm just trying to get that burn. I know that doing this makes it feel more of a burn. If I don't swing at all, what happens is I tend to use the brachialis in my forearm a little bit more because then the bottom part of the motion becomes the weak link of the motion for me. So that's where the swinging comes from. So again, you know, I understand that there's different ways to do the movement, but that's the way I feel the most amount of tension on the bicep. Okay, so here's it's kind of like a T curl, like CT Fletcher does, but this is basically a hammer curl, and I rotate the arms out just slightly, right, and get a good burn in there. Now, you know, I wish, I really wish sometimes I could go back in time and really show you guys what I used to do. You know, I used to do 60, 70 pound dumbbell curls on an incline before any of these injuries and stuff that I had to deal with from hockey and all this kind of stuff. But the thing is that, hey, this is life, right? And at least I look good in my t-shirt, and that's all that matters, right? So, you know, it's always about progression and regression. You know, we go through these life and death cycles. So I firmly believe that I'm reinventing the way I train, because there's obviously some wisdom coming forth in this new way of training for me. Rather than just pushing through all the suffering in the body, it's a matter of dancing with it in some sort of harmony, diet-wise, sleep-wise, and training-wise, you know. So like I said to you guys before, I'm doing a little bit of a moderately lower carbohydrate diet and higher protein and higher fat, and I feel pretty good doing that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Avoiding and dodging, not facing your shit makes everyone else have to deal with it. You see? So there you have it. Secret to life. Acceptance. Then you'll be surprised what happens. Once you let all this stuff in, something magical comes out.